I think Colorado, if I had to pick tomorrow, I'd probably say, yeah, they'd beat Indiana and they'd beat BYU. Quick feet, quick feet. Oh, it's like in the good old days. Red 18. Red 18. Red 10, go. Oh, man. Y'all know how many people I used to get with that fake handoff. I'm going to do it one more time. Slow-mo. Red 10, set, go. See, you're going with it. 2 hands. And then you bring it back with your left. I think you're handing it off with the back. You hide it behind really your butt. You're dropping back. They think it's a run. Little do they know your boy White Randy hung on to it and whoom! Touchdown, White Randy. But that's besides the point. I got a couple of those plays in the attic somewhere. I have to dig them up. We didn't run that, I say we. Talking about, glory days back in high school. We didn't run that type of fake a lot, but when we did, always executed it to a T. But that's besides the point. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make sure my mic's on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Colorado Buffaloes, they win again. I wish I could say I'm shocked, but I'm not. You know why I'm not? I picked them to win. You saw a preview video. As a matter of fact, let me pull it up in live time. What was my score prediction? Colorado won by, hold on, give me a second. Colorado won 41-27. Shiloh Sanders got that late scooping score. That was nice. Let me see what my score prediction was. I already forgot. Okay, I had Colorado 34, Texas Tech 28. Which is actually kind of close because it was really a touchdown game up until the end. There's not a lot we got to talk about, but there's certain plays I want to talk about, and I'm going to sound like a negative Nancy. I don't know why it's so hot in here. I got to turn the fan on. Hope that doesn't bother y'all too much. Guys, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but Colorado, and I know Dion's probably going to be talking about this. I don't know if he's talked about it up until this point. They got 2. Okay, they forced 1 fumble. I'm not talking about the shallow scooping score, but it's when they were up 34-20. They force a fumble. They recover. They're on like the 20. But guess what? They get a taunting penalty. So puts them back at 35. They go 3 and out. They're out of field goal range. They got a punt. Then, very next drive, they get a stop in the end zone. It was like 3rd and 8. And what happened? Another taunting penalty. And even Travis Hunter was telling dude, he's like, dude, what are you doing, man? 2 taunting penalties. And then they got an unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. That gifted Texas Tech another first down. And nobody's going to talk about those plays because Colorado wound up winning this game. But if they would have lost, I would have been pointing back to those. You can't let that happen. I was really disappointed in the Colorado football team to see them just have mental lapses like that. Because against really good teams, if you make the playoffs, you can't give these other teams a lifeline. You gave, Texas Tech a lifeline. Drawing a blank here. They didn't take advantage of it. Outside of that, I have no complaints. Colorado, another great performance. Here's the great news if you're a Colorado fan. We talked about this last week. If you can win this Tech game, you were sitting beyond pretty. You were sitting pretty heading into the game, but this was your toughest opponent left on the schedule, Texas Tech. From here on out, you're probably going to be a touchdown favorite. You was like a 3 to 4 point favorite in this one. But from here on out, let me pull up the schedule. I don't think you play a single team on a winning record. It is an easy peasy schedule. And I already know some Colorado fans are going to be like, oh, of course, you got Matt throwing shade. Ain't nobody throwing shade. It's an easy schedule. Like, what are you talking about? I've seen some people say that when other people are talking about, oh, Colorado has an easy schedule. Nobody's trying to talk down on Colorado, man. It's just a cold, hard fact. And I don't even know why you take offense to it because there's nothing to take offense to. But let me pull up. Where is Colorado's schedule? Why can I not find anything? Oh, yeah, by the way, it is super late. I'll show you the time real quick. It is 1:44. And I had a bunch of Colorado fans. I feel like we're in the same position every Saturday. And I feel like I've done this every Saturday. All these Colorado fans are like, yo, Matt, where's the Colorado vid at? Because Colorado played at 3. So here's what happened. I did a reaction video to the Georgia-Ole Miss game. Obviously, was locked in, focused on that. But I was also watching the Colorado game during that game and after it. And I was in a predicament, a slight pickle, some may call it, a sticky situation. Because I had to do a reaction video to the Georgia-Ole Miss game. I did a live reaction to that. And then Alabama-LSU was kicking off. And I'm an Alabama fan, y'all know this. I was not going to miss any of the Alabama game. I just couldn't do it. If I were to do the Colorado vid before the Bama game, it would have ran into it a little bit. So I just said, we'll just do it late night. And I'm not even going to upload this because I could get it uploaded by probably like 3:30 a.m. I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to wait till like 7, 8 a.m. I think you guys will be fine. But yeah, we're making the video. I have a bunch of people tweeting me, yo, man, where's the Colorado video? I'm getting to it, man. I don't know what some of y'all think goes into like making videos and whatnot. I can't just snap my finger and they magically appear. There's stuff you got to do. You got to, well, I don't really edit these, but you got to record them, number one. Then you got to put them on the computer, render them. There's just more that goes into it. And then also, meanwhile, I'm doing all these videos, there's other games I'm trying to watch. And that's another thing, too. I was also watching that Auburn-Houston basketball game. Dude, that was amazing. And speaking of games, Utah, I just got done watching this, which I was waiting for all the games to finish up. Utah just got hosed multiple times. That is a shame. And I'm sure Colorado fans probably wanted BYU to lose. I don't really have a horse in the race. I just like seeing upsets. I'm a college football fan. I feel bad for Utah. Utah should have won that game. The refs hosed them. They sacked the quarterback in the end zone. Game's over. And then the ref called some stupid and BS holding call. Give me a break. The most ticky-tacky thing I've seen all year long. Let me pull up Colorado's schedule like I was trying to do in the first place. 7-2. Who would have thought? All right. Speaking of Utah, well, you know, they got Utah next week. Utah's not very good. 4-5 this year. Kansas is awful. 3-6. And Oklahoma State. They are also awful. 3-7. And ironically enough, Colorado's playing 3 teams that were supposed to be 3 of the best teams in the league. Come to find out, they're 3 of the worst teams in the league. Now, I think these games are going to be much harder than what the schedule of these opposing teams actually indicates. Because Utah's better, in my humble opinion, than 4-5. And I'd probably say the same thing about Kansas. But one of my old high school coaches always told me this. You are what your record says you are. And I kind of want to go with that philosophy. But you get what I'm trying to say. Utah ain't going to be a cakewalk. Oklahoma State should be a cakewalk. They just suck this year. But Utah probably won't be, especially with them playing Utah hard. And that's besides the point. Let's talk about this game itself. Texas Tech and Colorado. I talked a little bit about, I got the bad stuff out of the way, like not the unsportsmanlike, but the unnecessary roughness. And you get 2 taunting penalties within like 5 minutes. Just can't let that happen. But same old, same old. Who do you think I'm about to talk about next? Shocker, right? I know. Shedeur Sanders. And you know what I'm about to say next? I've said it the past 2 years. He played phenomenal, and he's the best quarterback in the nation. I bumped him up to number 1. I've had him at number 1 the past couple of weeks, but I'm not going to sit up here and rant and rave on him. Y'all hear that enough. Shedeur's the best quarterback in the nation. And it was... I feel like I'm living the same day over and over and over when I talk about Colorado, especially these past 4 to 5 weeks. They didn't run the ball very well, and Shedeur Sanders had a great performance. Shocker, right? I know. It's a shocker. They didn't run the ball well, and Shedeur just went off. Outside of that, Travis Hunter, you know, he still did his thing, leading receiver. 9 catches, 99 yards, 1 touchdown, right at 100. Oh, yeah, he also had some crazy interception that didn't count, got called back, if you know, you know. But Wester, he's been stepping up this year. I say, and do we dare say that he's been the unsung hero on the offensive side of the ball? Wester and Will Shepherd really impressed me. And, yeah, that's really all there is to say about it on the offensive side of the ball. They only had 60 rushing yards. And I'll put up Shedeur Sanders. Let's put them up now. Why not? All right, there we have it. How many total yards did Colorado have while I'm looking at it? Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, Colorado had 351 total yards. Texas Tech had 388. Colorado had 22 first downs. Colorado, weirdly enough, you're not going to see this happen probably again this year. Colorado was 2 for 13 on third downs. Texas Tech was 10 for 20. And Texas Tech lost by double digits. That's just something you're not going to see a lot. Normally, the team that does better on third downs, they win the games. But, yeah, that just didn't happen in Colorado. Colorado, 60 rushing yards. Texas Tech, 113. Passing yards were relatively the same. And I thought this game would come down to, Morton and Shedeur Sanders. And which it pretty much did, because Texas Tech's defense, they held up at the end. They got a stop, got the ball back. They're down by a touchdown, need a touchdown to tie the game up. And what happened? Colorado's defense sort of been the unsung hero this entire season outside of Shedeur Sanders in the offense. They force a fumble on Morton. Shiloh Sanders says, hey, look, a cookie. Scoops it up and high steps it into the end zone. And, yeah, that was the end of the game. So, yeah, Morton did pretty much lose the, he played okay, but you get what I'm saying. That's what ended this game, put the icing on the cake. Morton's fumble at the end, Shiloh walking it in. That's what won the game for Colorado. And Shedeur Sanders, flawless, man. 30 for 43, 291, 3 touchdowns. You want to know what's crazy? That is an average performance for Shedeur right there. I didn't even feel like he played that great. And then you look at the box score, it's like, wow. Most quarterbacks in the nation would dream to have one game like this. And this is just average for Shedeur. It goes to show how great he is. And I think that's really all there is to say about this game, guys. If I can keep things short, simple, and sweet, that's what I'm going to do. The Colorado defense, really proud of them. They've been impressed me the past couple weeks. They impressed me again. They held Tech to 27 points. Texas Tech, for those of you who don't know, has already scored over 300 points on offense this season. 300 points. That's a really good offense. And holding to 27 points, I take that as a dubski. On the flip side of things, Colorado scoring 41 points. Offense scored 34. I don't really view that as anything special because Texas Tech has one of the worst defenses, not just in the conference, but in the nation. But it's not like I'm taking anything bad away from Colorado scoring 41 total points. You did good. So clap it up to the offense, did their thing. Defense also clap it up, did their thing. Coaching was excellent. I mean, it was just a nice win, monumental. It wasn't like their best win of the season or their best performance, but it was just good. And me saying it's not their best performance, it's not me throwing shade or anything. But I think Colorado has more potential. I think they got more left in the tank. I was more impressed with believe it or not, I was more impressed with Colorado's loss to Kansas State because they just looked really good, really sound in that game. All in all, things are looking up for Colorado, man. I mean, they've been looking up. What am I talking about? But I think, you know what I'm saying, this is a playoff. I was about to say playoff team. Playoff contender. There we go. They are a legitimate playoff contender. Sorry, my throat's... I'm kind of losing my voice. Been talking all day. They look good. They really do. There's not even anything you can nitpick at. And I still think it's hard for people to come to terms with reality. Colorado is a playoff team. But they are. I honestly think, so like BYU, they're in the top 12 right now, and Indiana. I think Colorado's just as good as BYU and Indiana. That's just my personal opinion. If y'all disagree, let me know in the comment section. I don't even think it's a hot take. I just think it's a cold hard fact. Now, I'm not going to throw Colorado in the conversations of your Texases, I guess you'd say Bama. Bama had a nice one over LSU. Your Oregons, Ohio States of the world. No, absolutely not. But I tell you this much, I think Colorado can compete with those teams. But I'm just talking about beating teams, yeah. I think Colorado, if I had to pick tomorrow, I'd probably say, yeah, they'd beat Indiana and they'd beat BYU. That's just me. Many more things I could say. Let me know your thoughts down below. But